Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm T with Teresa H Creates, and this is part 2 of my huge Facebook Marketplace haul. And this is strictly going to be paper because I have 5 bins, 5 crates of paper that I need to go through. So I had to split it up because this was really a large haul and it's taking a while to get through it. So let's start with bin 1. And she packaged all these up in these bags. So I don't know that, I think that they're just sheets. I don't know that they're like complete collections of anything. I could be wrong though. Yeah, it looks like they're just individual sheets of 12 by 12. Oh my goodness. But there's some happy hearts. Look, simple stories. I recognize that. I may just have to have people, you know, come over and look through this. Take what you want kind of situation. I just don't even know. Jolly Holiday, Plant Lady. That's in there, but I don't know. I recognize that. That is not Plant Lady. That is. So it looks like just a mixture of all kinds of collections in here. There's not really a rhyme or reason. Oh my gosh. And my OCD mind is already like, if I'm going to sell these, I'm going to have to put these in categories. No. Why do I do that to myself? I should be like her and just leave it. This is really cute Christmas paper. Really, really cute. Guys, look at what I spy. Do y'all see it? Do y'all see it? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'll get to add to my Pooh Bear collection. Oh, I love, love. These little mushrooms and hearts. Oh my gosh, so much paper. Some Christmas paper. It's super, super thin Christmas paper. These mushrooms and hearts are killing me. Those are too cute. But they're single-sided. This is really pretty, and it's also single-sided, and I think that, you know, for a few of these, I'll make exceptions. I will. So it's kind of autumn, 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 and then Christmas. These guys. Oh, that's pretty. That's an authentique. Yep, and it's a front and back. Okay. As we go along, maybe we'll get some that are actual, like, complete stacks. I don't know. Premium paper stack, DCWV. This is old. And it's upside down. Oh, I was upside down. Boho. This collection. Okay. Anna Griffin. I think I had this collection. Look at these. Who is this? Is this Maggie Holmes? I don't know. Or no, is it Paige Evans? Or is that a Vicky Bouton? I don't know. I don't know. Several of those look kind of familiar. Pretty things. Gorgeous. Pretty, pretty paper. See what I mean? She just had so much stuff that it was impossible that day to kind of look through everything. So I did see some specialty paper. That one kind of got gnarly. I did see some specialty paper that I really liked. Lily Kate. I've never heard of Lily Kate. Unless that is the... Okay, Lily Kate is the name of the paper, but it's a basic gray. I know a lot of people like their basic gray. Hoard it. Anyway, it was just a lot to look through that day. It was kind of overwhelming. And for me, if it's too much, I kind of get sensory overload. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know where to put my eyeballs. I don't know what to concentrate on, what to focus on. So, Home Again. And then, oh, this one actually has some Home Again in it. It wasn't tricky like Plant Lady. Okay, so that's some of the Home Again collection. Maybe in one of these we'll come across Plant Lady. Look at all of this. So this is literally Heidi Grace Designs. This is literally Echo Park. This is an old one. It's just bits and pieces. My goodness. I'm not recognizing very many of these collections. Just not recognizing them. Like where they came from, like even if they were just open stock. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, my husband is a huge Star Wars nerd, and I'll be able to add this to the little bit of Star Wars paper and stuff that I have. How fantastic. And then Chewbacca. I always make him cards for Father's Day. There was Leia and Han Solo, Stormtroopers. See, this is why we have to go through every piece. Darth Vader. Look at that. Yoda. Okay, setting that aside. That's a happy find. I was not expecting to actually keep. Do you see how pretty that is? That's kind of just my style. That, oh, and they're single-sided. Such a bummer. This is why we have to go through every piece of paper. We have to go through them all because we find little goodies like Pooh Bear and Star Wars. Bo Bunny. This is not all Bo Bunny, but this front part is Bo Bunny. Does this have, it has a branding strip, but it doesn't have anything. Oh, Anna Griffin. These are all Anna Griffin. Kaiser Craft. Craftsmith. And then just a few random pages. All right. Graduation. So these look like, look how fun. Oh my goodness, look at this. Chipboard. I hope you can see. I can see. They're kind of hard to flip through since they're not, you know, Bella Boulevard. Since they're not together, you know, connected together, and you can kind of just flip through them, and they're all different sizes and everything. So they're kind of hard to just flip through. So I know that this is a little bit awkward, but we'll get through it. Look at that. That's pretty. So many pretty papers that I've just never seen before. And I've seen a lot. So I'm familiar with a lot of the recollections and stuff. So I used to go to, you know, specialty shops like your brick and mortars. And there was a nice one called Stamp Asylum in Plano, Texas that I used to frequent all the time. And so I would get, you know, some of my specialty stuff, a lot of the Tim Holtz things before they started selling at Michael's. And I would go there and get my stuff. But then I did have a teaching job. I was one of the classroom instructors at Michael's for a little while. And because I had a huge discount, I shopped a lot of their paper collections and bought a lot of stuff there. but I have since purged the majority of it because a lot of it is single-sided papers, or they're just papers that don't interest me, because I got to be honest with you, I'm a paper snob, which just happens after a while. So I prefer, you know, certain weights and premium cards. I like the feel of certain textures. So I'm just more of a premium paper kind of snob, which I mean just develops over time. Like I said, I've been doing this for a really long time. So I still have some of those collections. Don't get me wrong. And I still keep, like, a lot of my DCWV I've kept. But you know, a lot of it I've started to purge as well, just because it doesn't need to sit here and not get used, you know. That's a travesty. Not getting used, just hanging out. That's pretty. How pretty. That's an actual sheet of paper. I thought it was a cover. And I thought, how strange, it doesn't have anything indicating like what it is. Okay, is that supposed to go back there? I don't know. Heidi Swap, Carefree. Nope. They're completely different. I don't know what I'm doing. So much paper, guys. So much paper. And embellishment sheets. Lots of these acid-free paper embellishment sheets. And Park Lane. Sweet little collection. And then a few in this one. And then there's it's printed cork. Printed cork. Plus, I've also just seen how my styles have changed over the years. And so there are just certain things that appeal to me now that that I'd have in my collection. So my preferences have just changed a lot over the years too, as I've refined kind of what I like and my tastes and my style. And then I just have a lot of collections I bought before that I really liked, and I still think they're very pretty. They're just not, they're not my go-tos because they're just not my style anymore, you know? And it happens to all of us. And I'm sure it'll, you know, over time, there'll be several evolutions of what I like and different styles. And I'm sure it has been for you as well. It's just purple cardstock there. I see more Star Wars. And this is why we go through all the papers. Han Solo, Stormtrooper, Chewbacca, there he is, Princess Leia, Darth Vader, more Luke Skywalker. Oh, I like this. All right. That's exciting. It's very exciting. This rainbow chevron has some glitter on it. Lots of little embellishment type sheets, like cut aparts and stuff. What is this? Oh, Echo Park. Okay, and then that's so much, because I'm like, this does not go together. I know, I'm all over the place. Sorry. And then I think these actually all coordinate together. How pretty is that? All right, Simple Stories, I Heart Summer. Oh, we had that little 6x6 in there, and now here's the actual 12x12. You know, or is it? Because I think I was fooled again, because they tend to do double-sided is what I've always seen, and those are not double-sided, so it just makes me wonder. At any point, did Echo Park not do double-sided? And so, or, you know, actually, it's a Simple Stories. Do Simple Stories not do double-sided, and I'm just off? So here we go. Isn't this pretty? That's a pretty collection. Summer fun. All the flamingos and the parrots and stuff. See, really pretty, just not my style. So I wouldn't get it, but there you go. Hope you guys can see some when I'm flipping through them like that. I'm not even watching the screen. I'm kind of looking at the papers as they're flipping through. So sorry if you're not seeing them. I'll have to watch and make sure that it's clear. Oh my gosh, so much paper. I'm not complaining. It's beautiful. And at least it's not sitting in someone's garage. It was rescued. It was rescued from the garage. And I'll put it out there and it will get new use from other people. Okay. I was going to try to do a flip for you, but that's not flippable. This might be. There we go. These are all the same. Some of my Pooh Bear paper. Oh my goodness. That's why we go through them all. Okay. Authentique. Very pretty. Some neon yellow, 8.5 by 11. And then, okay. And then these are just a bunch of individual sheets. Looks like Christmas stuff. There you go. All right, that was bin 1. So let me push that aside and then I'll pull out bin 2. All right, bin 2, more and more paper. I think that this lady might have actually bought more paper than I ever have. It's quite possible. There is just so much here. Pretty recollections. So much here that I've just never seen before, and I know I keep saying that, but it just amazes me because, like I said, I've been doing this for like 20 years. And, you know, back in the day, I did like some Graphic 45, and I did some Tim Holtz. But other than that, it was probably all recollections, honestly. I don't think I even did a lot of the Park Lane because I got a discount. I got such a big discount at Michael's. So, and here's the Anna Griffin. You know, back in the day, I know that they sold the Anna Griffin paper. I believe they did at Michael's, didn't they? Or am I just thinking of Martha Stewart? They might have sold the Anna Griffin, though, and I don't remember actually picking any of it up because all her stuff was always so expensive. And not a complaint. I mean, she's got good quality stuff. It was just so expensive, and I was just like, even with my discount, I didn't want to go down that route. But it looks like she got this from like a Tuesday morning anyway, that Anna Griffin, just based on that price tag. Echo Park. I don't even know which way to turn it because I'm running out of room. Look at all the pretty papers. Doesn't it just make your heart happy? Makes my heart happy. And then I keep looking at this and thinking, I know people who are going to absolutely love these. And I'll invite them over to go through it. That was a terrible flip through. Some of these are really thick and then some of them are thin. Look at all that purple. It's pretty. And then some yellow cut aparts. These are all different collections. These are not all the same. I thought I saw some There it is. I saw some vellum in here. I knew I saw some vellum. Echo Park. Pretty, pretty. Pretty, pretty. All right. Next. I realized that I put the papers over here and it blocked out some of my sunlight. I mean, it is overcast. I hope that this isn't too dark for you guys. I really do. That's pretty. K & Company. Taj Mahal DCWV. Oof. Doesn't look like she used much of that at all. How pretty is that though? Anyway, I did block out what little sunlight I did kind of have her natural light. I can't even say sunlight because like I said, it's overcast out there. DCWV. Echo Park. Kind of thinking, I mean, I do definitely want to divide this up probably by brand is probably what I'll do, and then sell them, you know, by the brand. I might do some by seasons. Oh, I recognize this. I had that. I have this Recollections collection. You know, and then I think I'll just do like some single-sided packets. But I'll also just have some friends come by and take a look and see if there's anything that they might want. You know, that they might be interested in using. Okay, this is not coming off. So I'm going to have to bust into it. Oh, wow. Okay, because this was an entire paper pad, and I don't know who this is. This is probably a Recollections, right? This is the entire paper pad here. Lots of chevron. So if you like chevron, I got you covered here. All right, DCWV Stardust Stack. Oh, how pretty. Look at those purples. Pardon me. Doo Wop and Diddly Wink. The Paper Studio. It's on craft paper. It's really cute. That's a sweet one. Some specialty paper. Maybe I could pay my youngest to come in here and help me out. All right, some printed burlap. I've seen lots of printed burlap. You know what I haven't seen, though, is printed burlap on a backing like this. Do I just live under a rock? Huh. Maybe I'm thinking of printed canvas. Here's a whole Halloween packet. Look at that. Midnight Magic. Again, every time I try to flip through it, it just... And I'm disappointed that a lot of these don't have kind of a branding on them so that I know exactly where they go. Yum. That's not right with those sharks. That's funny. More sharks. Oh, look at these. Okay, so I recognize these pages. This has a nice shine or shimmer to it. I don't know if you can see it. It's really pretty. Does this? That one does as well. Pretty, pretty. Cacti. bees. I recently acquired one of those collections. Oh my goodness. Just too much stuff. Kaiser Craft. Oh, look at those tiles. Those are pretty. Echo Park. All right. I need more room. All right. A lot of Cowgirl Rodeo, baby themed, nursery checklist. More Rodeo Girl. Recognize those chevrons. Some aliens. There's a whole section here I didn't get. Okay. Cute, cute. That was easy to flip through. DCWV. The adhesives are getting stuck. Just a simple plaids. DCWV Merry Christmas. Some fun backgrounds. Authentique. Some deer, some outside. Look at that. Does anyone recognize this paper? Was it just open stock? North Pole. I think all of this right here goes together. Wonder if it was in a kit or if it was just open stock, because there's nothing branding it. So if you know, let me know. If you're still around, if you're still sticking around. If you have me on fast forward though and mute, you're not hearing anything. Or I sound like a chipmunk. I watch almost everything in fast forward. I mean, that's just how I can get it all in. I have to. So I watch everything in fast forward. And my husband thinks it's diabolical. He's like, I don't understand how you can listen to it that way. Like even my audiobooks, I listen to them sped up. So when I go to normal, like I went to normal the other day, I was listening to something on a normal speed and I was like, wait a second, this is slow. My daughter's like, no, it's not. And I was like, yeah, it is. It's slow. And I checked and sure enough, it was normal. So I need to slow down. But, you know, there are so many videos that I want to watch. So many crafty videos that I want to watch and stuff. And so I'm like, you know, I can get through them if we speed them up a little bit. And I'm just talking about like 1.5. Winter Magic. Nice. It's a DCWV. I recognize this. There was some of this in one of the other packets. Halloween paper. Lots of Valentine's paper. You know, I like the branding strip on this. I say branding strip, but there's not a brand there, so who knows? All right. Ooh. Maybe for the next one, I'll just bust everything out of the wrappers before I start going through it. That's a cute, it's called Country, Park Lane. Pattern paper pad, Love Elsie. This is a real thin paper. It's cute though. I've never heard of Love Elsie. It's a collection, lots of rainbows and bright colors. Who is this? Park Lane, Nice Day. Very pretty. So many beautiful papers. And it's sweet that I'm not seeing the same thing over and over again, you know? She picked up a lot of really pretty stuff. And like me, she probably just had a ton of paper and was like, you know what, this isn't my style anymore. Or I just have too much, and she's, you know, purging. April and Ivy. So she's purging from her space, which I totally get. And sometimes I see papers that I absolutely love, and I'm just like, but I'm not going to get to it. I'm just not going to get to it. So, oh my goodness. I'm a bit of a mess again. Slow down. Some of these are thick papers at the bottom here, and then they kind of shuffle into thinner papers. So, pretty, pretty. We're my basic gray people. Portobello. So lovely. Got a bit of basic gray in here. They had some really pretty papers. Okay, and is this all the stuff that we... Back to more rainbows. Ah, must be the rest of that collection. So, Chamel, Little by Little. All right, and that is the end of bin 2. Now let's pull out paper bin 3. All right, paper bin 3. I may have to stop for a coffee break. Make myself an iced coffee. These are nice and shiny. Dreaming in Color. Recollections. Yeah, those go with that collection. Pretty. SEI. That's a gorgeous piece of paper. It's single-sided. It's also pretty. I don't know if you can see, but some of the butterflies in there have a gold foil on them. See, and I'm seeing lots of collections. That have been separated, that go together but are in other piles. So see, I'm going to have to, go through and organize all of them. Who am I kidding? Everybody knew I was going to anyway. It was happening. This looks really familiar. I think that, yep, I had this collection. I most definitely had this collection. Oh, look, I think I had both of these collections. Is this the Que Sera? I'm not seeing the name of it. Jubilee. So maybe it's a different one. I had this collection though. So I did have that one, K & Company. And I definitely 100% had this one. Yep, used lots and lots and lots of those too. Back in the day. Made lots of cards. All right. Next. All right. I need to move a little bit quicker. This is getting quite long already, and I want to be able to get through all this in one video. Get through all the paper. This is just green. I've never seen this. Leaf green scrap pad. All right. Pretty. Ooh, glitter. That'll be everywhere. DCWV music. So there's some music pages there. And then, so there's a bunch of this. These are not, they're file folders, but they feel really thin, not like vanilla. They're like, oh, wait, here's a package. Store and Style file folders, 8 sturdy white cardstock file folders. Well, guess what? That just has to be mine. Here's an album. There's some shiny specialty paper. Okay, I don't know which way this goes. Apparently it goes this way. So I don't know which way it goes. I think there's 2 of them that are actually stuck together or something. Or maybe it's just like one large one and it was just covering all the seasons or something. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it was. Or it's just doing a variety. I don't know. I'm not going to figure it out. I'll let someone else unravel that mystery. All right. Lots of baseball and boy stuff and school stuff. There's lockers. Those are really cute. Soccer. So lots of sports stuff. Be in the moment. Okay, I had to take a quick break and make some iced coffee. I needed a little bit to help push through the end of this. There's still a couple more bins to go, but they're not as full, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll get it done. There's so much paper. I think honestly, I appreciate that she bagged these up and was selling them like per bag for like $5 per bag. So I appreciate that. But when I was going through there looking, because I'm you know, very specific about what I'm looking for, I didn't want a grab bag, you know, and I think that she probably would have done better if she'd put these in the bins and just left them open, you know, and was like, you know, X amount for so many sheets or whatever. And then I probably would have gone through it. And oh my goodness, just keeps popping up. I probably would have gone through it at that point and actually looked at everything that was in there. But that is super cute. Little Red Riding Hood. Where did that come from? What collection was that? Anyway, I think that if she had left it in an open, how cute, gaming, in the bins open and then just let you kind of sort through the paper, I think that that would have been better. I don't know. I don't know. Especially for people like me who are very specific about what they want, you know? That might have been the better way to go. Yep, that was an Echo Park. I thought so. Bits and pieces of collections everywhere. Okay, and then this is Storyteller. Okay, again, I've seen bits and pieces of the... Okay, Vicki Boutin Storyteller. And this is Vicki Boutin Storyteller. This is not Vicki Boutin Storyteller. This is Vicki Boutin Sweet Rush. And the thing is that I keep seeing the Vicki Boutin papers in other collections, like mixed in other stuff. Like I think I got a kit from Love from Lizzie that had some 6x8. That was a while back, but had some of those papers in it in a 6x8. So anyway. And I don't think that they were branded, so I didn't know that it was actually Vicki Boutin. It was just the 6x8 sheets. So later, when I actually saw the Vicki Boutin, I was like, "Oh, look here, it's a 12x12." Because they were at Hobby Lobby for quite a while. Not Hobby Lobby, Joann's for quite a while. Oh my gosh. Okay. Don't know what this one is. That is Disco Cowgirl. That is something. And this is a paper pad, but I don't know from what. The front is gone. Merry Christmas. Photo play. Okay. I'm starting to get stuck. Maggie Holmes Garden Party. That's what I just flipped through. It was really pretty. And then this from Photo Play. It's in this house. And then here is some specialty paper. Some embossed gold vellum. Beautiful papers. This has got flocking on it. That lighter color is flocking. Seeing like there's tons of baby themed papers, but I won't use any of that. I have a couple of small collections that are baby themed, and that's all I use because I don't make that many baby cards, you know. So oh, I like that. That's fun. Jane Austen themed paper. Who did this? Is that what this is? All of this? All of this goes together. All right. Somebody tell me where this came from because I'm not recognizing this paper collection. But I'm a book nerd. I'm in a book club with my sisters and my daughter and my niece. And right now we're reading Wuthering Heights. Well, I'm doing the audiobook and even that. So I read it a long time ago for school. Echo Park Getaway. I did read it a long time ago when I was in school. So that was like ages and ages ago. And I remember the story and everything. I don't remember it being quite so long. I think we had to have read an abridged version of it because I can't imagine that we read that entire unabridged novel that they got us to do that in high school because it is forever long. It is forever long. I mean, even, what's this, paper stack? Fun papers. It is forever long. Anyway, white cardstock, just plain white cardstock. It's thin. So I don't know if it was the book itself, and it's probably a combination of the book itself and then just listening to the audiobook. But oh my gosh, it's whiny. It's whiny. It's whiny. Everybody is a spoiled brat. And I'm kind of done with it and I'm ready for it to be over, but I've got like 2.5 more hours left. And I remember liking it when I was younger, but maybe it was because I actually read it and I didn't listen to it. And listen, the voice artist is fantastic. They're doing a fantastic job with it. But yeah, it's just, I guess I just didn't realize. And of course I was a teenager then, so I probably felt some sort of connection or something, I don't know, to the characters at that point because they're all young teens and whiny and complaining and I don't know. Maybe I related. So it made sense. All right. DCWV Christmas. Lots of Christmas paper. Here we go again. My Winnie the Pooh paper. And that is why we go through it piece by piece. How pretty though. Kind of makes me wonder how she had her paper sorted. Because that paper's been in all 3 bins in these packets. So I'm like, how are you storing your paper in your space? Her husband did tell me when I went to pick up the paper or pick up the stuff, he was like, yeah, she cleaned out so much stuff. He was like, but you never know, it looks the same in there. And I'm like, wow, spoken like a husband. Mine would say the same. Every time I purge, it just, it doesn't look like it. So I totally get it. It doesn't look like it. And so then just a bunch of 8.5 by 11 basic browns and craft cardstock here. All right, let's go to bin 4. We're almost done. All right, this one had some Prima journaling note cards for Tales of You and Me. And then she had a whole bag of just paper scraps. And then there was a 6x6 of Chalk It Now paper. All right, let's get into this. As you can see, I'm running out of room. And when I decided to do this morning, I cleared my entire desk. So I've got 2 like kitchen islands in the center of my studio, and that's where I work from. And I cleared off everything and cleared it out. And yeah, I'm already out of space again. I don't understand what was going on there. Okay. It looks like they just got stuck together. That's a pretty paper pad though. Sometimes those old adhesives at the top, and then sometimes where they put the actual closures on, those tend to kind of get stuck. It happens a lot with my my Crafter's Companion, because that adhesive that keeps them closed is so strong. It just ends up getting stuck to the covers of other pages and or papers. And this is Simple Stories. I'm gonna try not to hit the base, so hopefully you guys aren't shaking too much. Craft Smart, DCWV, Mango Frost. It's from the side. I keep forgetting that. Here is Graphic 45. You know how I feel about Graphic 45. This is Bohemian Bazaar. So I'll set that aside. More Graphic 45. Pattern Medley. I know I can see that I've got a lot of shadows cast there with all these piles around me and without having sufficient spotlighting. I'm sorry. This might be too annoying to watch for some of you because it's so dark. Authentique. There's some handmade papers. There are a lot of great papers in here. Really good papers. Okay. I might have to pay a little closer attention to this bin. Just that. And this is Azure Blue Scrap Pad. I flipped through that. And then this is Neutrals. Neutral Modern. These all look like Recollections. Does this look familiar? Yeah, those look familiar. Just ripping these bags open now because I mean honestly there's no hope of me ever getting those back in there. Old World Stack. I had this one too. I liked that one. I used that one a lot. This is a Heidi swap, isn't it? No, Pink Paisley. Sorry. All those colors made me think it was Heidi swap, but nope, it's Pink Paisley. More Pink Paisley. Nope, that one's Heidi swap. See? Listen. And this one is Pink Paisley. And I see some Bo Bunny paper. Very pretty papers. Hello. Moulin Rouge collection. I don't think that is part of the Moulin Rouge collection. It was just this one sheet. Some Authentique in there. Nice vacation pages. Okay. Just some open stock. And like I said, the weights of these papers vary so much. Some of them, there's, this one's called Twilight. Some of them are, those were fireflies. How cute is that? Look. Some of them are really thick, heavy cardstocks, and then some of them are super thin. So they're kind of hard to flip through. Chipboard and flea market crepe paper. That's a pretty piece. I love that green, that kind of a seafoam green color. And that was a crepe paper, but that was Maggie Holmes. That, oh my gosh, that flea market. This one right here, I just flipped through. That one was Maggie Holmes. Okay, it's already upside down. So, loose papers. Not really getting good representation. So a lot of these just flip too quickly. The Hot Pink stack. So it's got lots of pink. DCWV, Random by Crepe Paper. Pink Plum by Crepe Paper. Whoop-de-doo. I've never heard of some of these, seriously. Melody Ross Design Collections. Some of these are stuck together so well. So this is Craftsmith, but it's like got gold foiling on the edges of it. I don't know if you can see it, but like all of that is gold foiled along the edge. Can you see? Yeah, you can see. That's shiny. Maggie Holmes Shine. There's two collections in here. So there's Maggie Holmes Vellum. But this is not vellum. I give up. And then this is a different Maggie Holmes Shine. All right. And there's some more pages. There's a photo play sticker sheet. All right, DCWV. And Dear Jane. This is it. This is where the Jane Austen paper came from. So it is DCWV Dear Jane paper stack. Good to know. I didn't have to hunt that information down. It fell into my lap. Okay. Look like some good. Look at that gold foiling on those leaves. That's really pretty. Okay, we are nearing the end. I really do appreciate you sticking it out with me. We have some handmade papers. All right, in the bin with the handmade papers, we're also with some more paper. All of this right here is all the same, and it is basic gray. So for my basic gray girlies out there, I see them Stampin' Up, Simply Scrappin', Buttons, Bows, and Twinkle Toes. Chipboard. These are die cuts. They're all perforated. I want to say these are stickers. They all look like stickers. some of this pink paper. And then here's a whole collection of it. So this is actually Stampin' Up! Raspberry Tart. That's what a lot of that was. And then this is crepe paper, Acorn Avenue, Pecan Bakery. This is American Crafts and crepe paper. So I'm not going to open that up, but it looks like it has 2 little collections in that, and those are sealed. Okay, and then the rest of what she had was handmade papers. And they're quite large. I'm not going to keep all of these, but this is really what I had wanted to go back and see. Let me clear some of this off. Okay, so let me turn it this way. So lots of handmade papers. You see a lot of these in like the smaller bits and pieces I have anyway, in like the paper scrap bundles. A lot of these I will not use. I'll end up gifting them. There were some specific ones that I did want. I think if they didn't have the glitter on them, I would be more apt to use them, you know. So that's set. And then this is folded over. That is gorgeous. I would use that. And it's just foil. And these are folded over, so these are large sheets. And this one is printed. Here are some blues. And those are folded over as well. This is gorgeous. Can't you see these as pages in some junk journals? How beautiful would that be? Blues, and then here are maroons. I don't know why I keep flipping them around. They're not directional. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, it's because they're folded that way. Okay, I'll just flip the whole stack around in a second. And that one was partially used, but no big deal. All right, now we're going the right way. Look at that. That's so pretty. I don't know if you can see that design, if that's showing up well enough or not. Cannot wait for my light to get here. I have more recording to do. I've got stuff prepped and ready to go, and I didn't want to record any like tutorials or anything with it. I thought it might be manageable with the, look, these flipped right back on me. Okay, so these are the stitched ones. Again, I don't know if I'll use these. Does anyone use these in their junk journals or seen them used in a tutorial? Let me know, because I'm not sure. To me, they seem just kind of bulky with the stitching in them, but I don't know. Maybe if I saw them used right, I might want to keep them. I don't know. That one's got kind of a metallic thread in it. But honestly, I mean, I'm saying I want my light to be here, but I've got so much sorting to do now that, you know, it might be all right if it takes a little longer, because I don't even have any space to do anything right now. So there you go. All right, more papers. So these are not folded. These are just single sheets. Handmade. That one's folded. That one's folded. That one's folded. That one's folded. I lied. Just all these sheets of handmade paper. Handmade by someone. I don't know who. It's a large one with glitter. Oh, there's some pretty marbled ones. Those are folded. Thought I was done with the folded ones. Sorry, guys. Here's some more. And some more marbling. This is gorgeous. That's a beautiful sheet. Those remind me of the insides of like the old books, where they had the nice printed papers on the insides as the old encyclopedias. Not encyclopedias, Reader's Digest books. Okay, and this is some of what I wanted to go through and pick some more up of this stuff, because I found this stuff last time and I picked up a few sheets, and now I've got the whole stack. So this was some dyed handmade paper, but and it's in these large sheets. So there's a nice blue and ton of red. Look at all of that. Let me move the bin so that I'm not stacking, because they're not stiff. They're very loose. And this feels a little bit different than that one did, but you can tell it has a different kind of a backing on it. But there's this nice green, kind of an olive green, and then more of your traditional lawn green, your Kelly green, I don't know. Oh, this beautiful kind of an aqua turquoise. There's more of this brighter green. All right, I'm going to try to keep the colors together. There's that blue. And then this one is yellow, but it has a shimmer to it. I don't know if you can catch it since the light is kind of terrible in here, but that one has an actual sheen to it. But it's that nice yellow. Here's more red. There's more of that yellow with the shimmer on it. Some purple. This one also has kind of a metallic shimmer. You can see it. Maroon. And then I think that was it. And that's it. Ooh, but am I exhausted? And now I get to go through it in great detail and pull out the things that I want and set aside the things that I don't. And I don't know where I'm going to put them. I don't know. They'll sit in my corner, so I'll be more motivated to get them out of here. I appreciate you sticking it out with me. This was a huge haul. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you enjoyed the flip through. You saw some old papers maybe that you haven't seen in quite a while. And for me, it was a lot of papers that I've never seen before ever. So that was nice. But I do have a lot of things to sort through and to clear out and find room for in my actual studio. So anyway, if you have any comments or questions, just put them down in the comment section. And thanks for spending some time with me. And until next time, bye.